all wrong ideas start coming. That I come from somewhere, I go in somewhere, then I move out from there. I'm not a moving object. If I'm a moving object, then I'm finite. Understand this very, very clearly. When we say the soul is infinite, infiniteness, where can it move? Tell me. जिसका कोई अंत नहीं, जिसका कोई शुरुआत नहीं, which has no beginning, no end. Where can it move? Think about it. थोड़ा यहाँ जोर लगाओ. Reflect deeply on what I'm saying. If you are infinite space, you know at least that soul is infinite, God is infinite, I am only that God, and infinite. Because it cannot move. Because for movement, there need to be some space. To go from here to there. Now there is nowhere to go. It is everywhere. Where will it move? Now you understand why it is Nischala? Why Shiva doesn't move? Because he is infinite. Where is he going to move? He is everywhere. It cannot move. That is the meaning of Nischala. Stillness. When you realize that, you automatically have to become Nischala. Have you seen in your practices? The moment you shift into awareness, everything freezes. Your body freezes, your mind freezes. See the phenomena? Only when you come into the ego, it starts moving again because the ego is finite. It keeps moving here and there. Now, from this angle, think all your old beliefs from the other paths, which I say, be ready to drop. Because if you're conditioned by that, you will get wrong ideas. Now, you tell me where will you come and where will you go? Which body will you come and which body will you go? You are eternal. You are everywhere. That sunlight which is there, that sunlight is everywhere. But when the sunlight hits that ego, the I is born. When the I is born, that becomes infinite. Then I say, I move from here, this body, that body, I'm moving to this dimension, that. So the one who you are telling that I move from this body to that, it's the ego. Please understand that entity, that ghost. Now, when this path is telling clearly you're not the ego, is it right to sit in the ego and say, I am moving from here to Swargaloka, from there I come here? Think about it. You will practice, you will get the whole thing wrong. Whole direction ही गड़बड़ हो जाता है उसका. That's why I'm telling, if you catch the final path, the direct path. Apart from that, if you think of anything else, if you bring any other practice, you cannot progress. That is why Shiva is telling nothing other than me. What is me? Nischalta. That is what we are practicing. Being. Nothing other than that being is what he's telling. Shiva tell to Parvati, anything other than me is samsara. Your mind moves a little also, it is samsara. Because that movement creates ego, and that ego creates multiplicity. Now, when you realize this ultimate truth, you have to sit in that and fix yourself again and again. Now you're understanding it. This is conceptual knowledge. Don't keep it just conceptualized. Oh, I know now, I don't move. Find out how do you not move. Don't simply write notes. Write notes and then contemplate on it. Practice on it. And when you practice and you realize, then you say, this guy said correct. Whatever examples he's telling, whatever now he's telling correct. Otherwise, don't believe me also. Otherwise, you'll become followers and believers. I just follow somebody. I just believe what you said. Don't believe. Don't trust me also. Trust me only to an extent that you are trusting what I say. It is capable of noting it down. The trust is only till there that I can jot this down and I can reflect on it. Till there only keep trust. After that, say, whatever I experience only, whatever I explore only, I'm going to trust. That's the right approach. Any place you go, this should be the right approach. Use your awareness everywhere. Don't believe whoever says that. Even if God comes and tells you, also don't believe. Tell God, I will first check. I will check with the intellect that you have only given. Why have you given me the intellect? To find out who is God, who is not. How do I know if you are God? Let me find it out. And then only understand. Because if you don't find this out, any little appearance, any little light, any little phenomena, you will say that is the ultimatum. You will get caught. That can never be the ultimatum. And what is the proof that God is there? How will I know that supreme? When you disappear, you will know. Every time you attempt to know him or her, the supreme, and you find yourself become that which you are trying to find out. What is that one? Nothingness? Stillness? So, in searching, when you become stillness and when you become nothing, that is a valid proof because that is what God is, right? Where there is no knowing, there is no study, there is no investigation, everything comes to an end. Your whole work comes to an end. You cannot investigate any further. Understand you have reached the point. Where the investigator only dissolves. Those moments are when you are in God, you are as God. That is why Jesus said, be still and know that I am God. Bhagavan Ramana used to always tell this to all the seekers who came there, Westerners. He used to give this example that Jesus said, be still and know I am God. Still is Achala. Arunachala is still. So when you become still, you are God. When you become still, you will know you are. Becoming still is knowing God. Becoming God is knowing God. Knowing God is becoming God. So that knowing is that being. When you are being, only you can know. Very interestingly, if you see Buddhism, Christianity, these are all very deep. Jesus Christ, the Tattva is very, very important. When we are decoding Islam, when we are decoding Hinduism, why not Christianity? Everything is coded only. All religions are coded. That is why religions are lost. Because when people go into the code without decoding, when they are unable to decode, they catch the symbolism, metaphors, and they get entangled in those metaphors. They catch the story and create novels out of it, episodes out of it, serials out of it, series like web series. It has no end. So it is important to decode it. And what is your weapon for decoding? Awareness. Without awareness, viveka, you cannot decode anything. So when you have the gift of this intellect, the viveka, understand you have been blessed by God. Because only by that awareness can you know God. Understand that God has sent, Shiva has sent Murugan to you. Because without Murugan, you cannot know Shiva. God has sent Jesus to you. Without Jesus, you cannot know the Father, God. That is why Jesus always said, I and my Father are one. No one understood it because code language, right? If you just read it as it is, you cannot understand. I and my Father are one. They all cried foul play and they said blasphemy. How can you say you are God? How dare you? Because God is treated as something very superior up in the heavens, dictating things, controlling things. How can you say you are that? Because Jesus said, I am that I am. How can you say you are that? How dare you? And they killed him. How they killed Mansur, the Sufi? Because he simply went around saying, Anal Haq. What is Anal Haq? I am that I am. They are also same thing. How dare you say that? How dare you say you are Allah? Mansur died laughing. These are all examples, these are all beings come to demonstrate, literally demonstrated. So Sufism also says that. Islam says in one way, Anal Haq means I am that. Aham Brahmasmi. Hinduism, Christianity, I am that I am. हो गया ना तीनों क्या अलग बोल रहे हैं